writing a nonfiction book can be hard, okay? I'm not going to sugarcoat it and say writing a book is the easiest thing you're ever going to do, because it's not. If it was that easy, there would be a lot more books, and a lot more people who want to write a book would actually complete their book and get it out. But even though writing a book can be hard, there are ways to make it easier. Not just make it easier, but make it easier to do it quickly. All right. And so when we work with people, we help them write, publish, and launch an entire nonfiction book in 6 months or less. And I want to share with you one of the things that is really, really effective when you are writing a nonfiction book to help you not only complete it, but to be able to have it be successful. All right. And so I want to share with you why and how you can find the right support for your book so that you can be held accountable while also making more progress than you would have done on your own, and making sure that you're creating something of high quality that the world wants and needs. And so I really want to break down the fact that having a good accountability partner is critical. Okay. And if you are trying to write a book, maybe you've already tried it, to be honest. Maybe you've tried it and you just haven't gotten it done. Or maybe you're working on it, but you go in waves, and 1 month you're really vibing, you're gaining momentum. The next month you're lost and you stop working on it. Then in month 3, you pick it back up, but you have to regress to remember what it was, and then you keep going. All right. Having an accountability partner is huge, and having the right support will really help your book process, make it easier, and help you get it complete faster. And so I think accountabilities are critical, and accountability partners are huge. And so here's, in my opinion, 2 criteria that will really help you find the right accountability partner for you while you're writing this book. Well, the first criteria that you need to look for is you must have somebody who you can trust. Okay. And this doesn't have to be your best friend or a family member. This needs to be somebody you can trust. All right. This is somebody who will tell you how it is. This is somebody who you know is invested in your success. This can be a friend. It could be a family member. It could be a colleague, etc. All right. But what you don't want this person to be is somebody who just tells you what you want to hear. Let me give you an example. A great accountability partner is a friend of mine who is in my mastermind. I asked her for check-ins. I told her my deadlines, and we made sure that I got things completed. She pushed me. She didn't tolerate any BS. She made sure that I was getting things done and moving along in conjunction with the timeline that I had. My mom, on the other hand, is one of my favorite people in the world. I love my mom. But here's the thing. I would rather my mom, I trust her incredibly well, but I would rather my mom be my cheerleader and be my support team, rooting me on and encouraging me and making me feel good, than having her be the accountability partner who is constantly holding me to the deadlines and making sure I get things done. Again, I love my mom and she can do both roles. But for my book, I chose to have her be my mom versus my accountability partner. And so the second criteria is to find someone who will call you out on your shit. All right. An accountability partner, while they're your accountability partner, is not supposed to be all lovey-dovey and just tell you what you want to hear. A great accountability partner will push you to achieve the goals that you've set. They will support you. They will buy into the program of what you're trying to do. And so when I try to be an accountability partner to other people, I'm not just going to tell them exactly what they want to hear. I'm going to push them. And if they're slacking, I'm going to call them out. Right? Because that's what accountability is. Making sure that you get things done by the time frame that you've set out to get those things done. So those are some of the criteria. Find someone you trust and find someone who will call you out on your shit, because I want you to have success with this book. Whether you've been working on it for 5 years, 5 months, or 5 days, I want you to have incredible success. And I know that it can be done because we help people do it all the time. The second thing that we got to talk about here is, well, how often should you communicate with your accountability partner? All right, because the truth is, someone is your accountability partner, they're helping you out, right? And so you can converse with them weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly. I typically encourage one of these 3 timeframes, either every week, every other week, or once a month. And when you do these, they can be text check-ins. They can be 15-minute phone calls. They could be 30-minute to an hour-long Zoom meetings where you do, if it's a good friend, you might want to check in for an hour and you just want to hang out and touch base, and also make sure that they're checking the box of being an accountability partner. But what I would do is, when you're figuring out how often to have these communications, is decide what's a good cadence for you first. What are you realistically going to be able to do from a check-in perspective? How often do you want to be checking in? Do you feel like I just want to set a month out? I can check in that and I feel good. Or do you feel the need to constantly be updating with someone because you know it'll hold you more accountable every single week to get more shit done? But then the other thing that you got to think about is, well, what's easiest for them, right? Unless you are paying them or investing with them to help you actually do this, they are often going to be someone who's doing this because they care for you. They want to see you succeed. They support you. And so what's good for them? Maybe for them, it's once a month. And maybe for you, you want to do every week. So maybe you can meet in the middle and do every 2-3 weeks. All right. Maybe you could do a text every week and then a call every month. But it's really important to figure out what's your best cadence that you work well with, and then match that with what's their best way of communication and how often do they want to communicate with you. All right. Next up is, and we're talking about accountability partners. I want to make sure that you have success with these accountability partners. Now, here's the other thing, Here's the other thing is, when you have an accountability partner, you can do this. If you want to take it to the extra level, you can create a reward or a punishment. So this is something that I've tested personally as well as with other people, and it can be very, very motivating. And so what you do is you create an incentive or a punishment based on, are you more motivated by positive reinforcement or by being punished for not doing something? And this is different. Everyone's got different. I think the studies, don't quote me on this, but I believe the studies skew more towards people are more motivated by the negative. But here's what you do. Is you can tell your accountability partner, hey, you know what? If I complete my things by this month or by this date, right? Then I'm treating us both to lunch, and we're going to go out for lunch. And you're celebrating, you're rewarding yourself for honoring your commitment to yourself. But maybe you prefer the punishment side. And a very common one that we see all the time is, you know what? If I don't complete this by this date, then I have to donate $100 or some amount that's important and relevant to you. I have to donate X amount of money to a charity that I disagree with. Now, you don't want to do that. So you're going to be more incentivized potentially and motivated to actually do the thing that you're supposed to do with your accountability partner. So you can have incentives or punishments based on yourself. You can also do this for your accountability partner to almost create an incentive for them, which is, hey, if I do this, we're both getting the reward. We're both going out to dinner. I'm taking you to this concert, whatever. I'm buying you the first round of drinks. I'm paying for your workout, whatever it is. Or it could be a punishment. Hey, if I don't tell you, then I'll pay you $100 every time I don't honor my commitment, as long as you're checking in with me on the days that I want. Whatever works for you, this may be something that you want to incorporate, or you're good. You have your partner, you have your cadence of communication, you're good. The biggest thing that I want you to take away from this is that use the support, okay? And if you don't have somebody that you can just talk to, use social media or invest in yourself. All right. This is why masterminds, coaching, social media these are some of the great benefits of those things. So let me talk about some of the different types though. Okay. The different types of accountability partners and when you might want to use each one. So there's a person. Okay. We've kind of been talking a lot about this. This is the standard. If you're writing a book on your own and you want an accountability partner, use a friend, colleague, family member, someone you trust, right? Remember the criteria, someone you trust, someone who will call you out. Another great way to have an accountability partner at scale is on social media. Social media can be great because once you put it out there, people see it. It's out there. It's in the public domain. All right, so maybe make a video and say, hey, I'm writing my book in this many months and it will be live on this date. Well, now the world can see that. So do you want to honor what you said? Okay. Another is you can create a little group. Maybe this is a mini mastermind group. Maybe there's 3 of you who are working on individual projects. Maybe one of you is achieving a fitness goal, one of you is writing a book, and one of you is, saving a certain amount of money for their finances for a vacation. Well, maybe you create a mini group and it's an accountability group. And you all support each other on your own goals and things that you're trying to achieve. That can be really effective. And then one of my personal favorite ways to guarantee that I get the best results for myself and also helping others do the same is invest in yourself. Use a coach as your accountability partner. If you want to make sure you get it done, put some skin in the game. Invest money, invest time, invest energy. Because they always say that there's the phrase that goes around, people who pay attention. And so the more you pay, the more likely you're to pay attention. The bigger the investments I make, the more invested I am to making sure that I do the things. Personally, every time I've invested in myself, Okay. Every time I've invested in myself, I've been even more proactive than I already am. And so that extra investment, that skin in the game, has made me more committed to the process, which ultimately gets me better results, which is the whole purpose of why we're doing this, to help you write a book, make book writing easier, and to ultimately have you use this book to grow your business and make an impact. So this is how I go about finding the right support. This is what I would look for in an accountability partner. This is how to find the partner. And I think that if you do this, you'll have somebody in your circle, whether you invest or you find somebody, you will have someone who you can trust. You will have someone who will be making sure you're adhering to these deadlines. You will be internally motivated, and you're going to eventually just have enough opportunities to get the shit done if that's actually what you really want. So if you are trying to write a nonfiction book to grow your business and make an impact, find an accountability partner, rely on this accountability partner, use the accountability partner for what they're supposed to do, and ask for the help. And if you do that, you're going to have the right support, which will make your book writing process much easier than without them. And it'll likely make your book writing process much more efficient so that you can get your book done in a quicker amount of time so that you can have better results on the back end. Boom. That's why having the right support is so important when writing your nonfiction book.